The problem with this hot weather is that it makes me not want to go out. And if I go out, I'm ready to go back home. So I'm deciding to go over why my opinion on race is the way that it is. And I am going to express this message assuming that you have already seen the videos in which I express myself from various angles on this matter. I will go ahead and link the videos in the description so that you guys can have easier access to the ones that I am talking about. But at any rate, let's jump into why my opinion on race is the way that it is. First of all, my upbringing. I really wasn't brought up being taught that people are different from each other. I was brought up in the way that we all have a need in this world and we all need each other. For instance, when I'm in school, I may need to collaborate, and when I collaborate, I look for someone who is going to help enrich the idea. Not just my idea, not just their personal idea, but we can come together and put our ideas together and thus generate a good outcome for whatever the project we're working on is. Additionally, it makes it easier that my family is mixed the way that it is because we never attacked each other based on race or based on our appearance. My family is by no means perfect, but our issues and differences stem from something beyond or something more advanced than race. Race is something that for me is really silly to even have a discussion on because I just don't have room in my head or in my mind or in my heart to look at that as a thing that should make me treat another fellow human being differently. And then as an adult, what strengthens my opinion even further to the way that it is right now is because now that I am older and I have more responsibilities, and it's not anymore about who gets to wear what for, say, prom, which I didn't even care about. I went because I was encouraged to. But, you know, the stresses that you had as a younger person, which were having the need to feel approved by other people. Do I look nice in this? Am I whatever? I wasn't involved in groups or social groups like that to even know what the issues are anymore. I was just my own self. I was independent. I was like an outcast. But anyway, as an adult, what strengthens my opinion on race like that even more is that I have received help, coaching, skills, advice from people of all kinds of backgrounds. I am grateful for my experience with them and that they shared with me their experiences to get me to where I am today, in part. When it comes to socializing with people when you're older, is significantly different from when you're an adolescent. I still like to express myself like I'm a student. I'm always asking questions, always wondering, always wanting to find the answers, always curious. So I guess that makes me a person who's very easy to talk to. Back to the race issue. At my job, it is pretty integrated, at least in my side of the building. We got plenty of sisters. If anything, I'm probably one of two or three folks who you could say that we are mixed or we are foreign to the culture of the rest of the team. We're still great workers, we're still productive, and this and that. It's just that when you listen to us, you can tell that something about us is off. But once again, at my job, from all kinds of people, black, white, foreigners, I have received nothing but respect and love. And not only in the confinement of work, outside of work, I've known these people too. I don't know if it's because I have a blessing to where I do not meet people who behave themselves in a way that I disagree with very strongly and could possibly compromise my comfort in their presence, or if I just don't put myself enough out there to encounter people who are dislikable. But then again, I know better than to get myself involved with people like that if that's the type of drama I am trying to keep out of my life. In addition, this is a blessing dash curse as well. What really helps is the time in history that I was born in, because I'm sure that if I would have been out here, say in the 60s or 70s, when implementation of laws that made integration possible had been, based on that time, implemented fairly recently, like a decade or so ago, maybe that would have impacted my mentality if I were in my 40s right now or my 50s. But in school, I am glad that in a sense they don't teach stuff the way they need to, only if it protects your mind to have the degree of tolerance and respect for different people the way that I do, the way that I am, you know? Because let's face it, maybe if I would have been born in the 60s, although I myself would be classified as, you know, non-white, foreign, or I would belong to the oppressed minority. Let's put it in political terms. Yeah, I guess I could be frowning at, say, interracial stuff, and I myself could not be involved in interracial relationships, even though I myself am a product of interracial relationships. Because that is empty, that chapter is not filled in my brain, I cannot even give a good example right now, a good prediction of how I think I would react to that. Does that make sense? It's like I'm just so used to the way I see the world now, which some of you guys who have seen my other videos have felt compelled to criticize my opinion. You're not realistic. You're living in an utopia. In other words, very naive. And I'm like, if I can think this up, is because it is possible. It should be possible. But people are focusing on ways to keep us divided and keep us at war with each other. That's the game about politics that I dislike and I simply cannot get mixed with. I cannot buy that. I cannot roll with it. For me, it's simple. I like you if you're nice and respectful and kind, and I find myself having a good time around you, and that I can trust you, and you're just a good all-around person. That attracts me to you, and not in the intimate way. It's like, as in choosing friends and stuff like that. Those are the people I go after. I go after positive people in my life. Those who are not in the positive sector of life, I'm like, hey, what's going on? What's up? Is there any way that I can help? Because some people may be negative, but it's totally involuntary. It's just a result of their circumstances. And I have been there before. It's hard to be cheerful when everything around you is collapsing. When you are like on the verge of losing your home. You know, back to the race issue. It's even hard for me to stay on track about it because I'm just not focusing on those differences. I'm not letting that illusion of being a minority get to me. We are a majority because as humans, there is a freaking lot of us out there. And I'm just really focused on the stuff that I have accomplished working with other people who are different from me. And that's why I'm like, why is it that in a grand scale we cannot accomplish this? I know this is certainly not my best or brightest or most put together message or video, but I looked at this as a challenge. I knew that this was going to be a hard video for me to make because, like I said, my mentality is not that way. Even though I have been attacked 2 times that I can recall about what my race is, or the fact that I'm not white or not black or not enough white or not enough black, you know. Even though I've been attacked like that, I still wish those people well. I didn't hold any grudges, and I still don't hold any grudges. I go to bed happily every night, and I'll think about this for a little longer and see if I can provide more concrete evidence and examples as to something that I can point out and be like, oh yeah, that is totally why I like to think of all of us as we're equal. Then you guys know that I'm a very science-oriented person, so I'm very well aware of what human necessities are. We get sick, we need medicine, we get hungry, we need food, we need oxygen, we need air, we need to breathe. My necessities are the same necessities as the black fellow human who I see, the Asian fellow human who I see, the white fellow human who I see. You know, take any of those away, deprive us of any of those, and our existence is being compromised. You know, that's really what my opinion is. All right, you guys, as always, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you soon.